Hello friends, your friend Aniruddha welcomes you for another video of the YouTube channel The Silent Express. On the occasion of Parental Alienation Awareness Day, this video of mine is dedicated to all parents who have been wrongfully separated and estranged from their beloved kids in the most wrongful way possible. In today's world, children are facing a lot of psychological issues growing up. Issues that are resulting in ill-bred adults with more criminal inclination, unhealthy addictions, and a broken society at large. While there are several challenges that a child has to face in today's complex society, I'm going to talk about a problem that is proving itself to be by far one of the most destructive one. It's known as parental alienation. In this video, we will discuss very briefly what parental alienation is, a bit of history, and how people like you and me can contribute to countering this all pervasive problem. Please listen till the end. This is a very, very serious issue. In the year 1985, child psychiatrist Richard Gardner coined the term parental alienation syndrome. Instead of jumping straight into this definition of the term or getting too technical, let me start with a small example to make things simpler. I'm going to use a real life example. And I'm sure a lot of my listeners will be able to identify with such scenarios or may have faced even worse. This child, she's born just like everyone else. Everything is normal. Everybody is happy. The mother, the father, other relatives like grandparents, uncle, aunts, everyone. As a matter of fact, her grandparents, paternal grandparents, are the happiest. But the mother had her own agenda. She and her parents wanted to trap the man and his parents and squeeze money from them using legal terrorism, something that has become so very common in India nowadays, mostly owing to the gender-biased laws and certain social stereotypes. She also has illicit relations, and for that, she hated her husband and his parents and wanted to separate from them. Of course, she expects and has proper plans to force her husband to pay for her maintenance, money that she can spend on her lover while ignoring his child and maintain her club-going lifestyle. But for all this, what she needed was the child as a trump card. Also, the mother of the child starts thinking that my contribution in bringing this child to this world is more. It's my child. I'll not allow anybody else to come near him or her. She starts having this weird complex, starts hating every other person, and tries to isolate the child from her loving grandparents, relatives, and even her father, and teaches the same to her daughter. She uses various forms of gender-biased laws and the social perceptions, like filing false complaints, crying in front of relatives and neighbors, etc., to manipulate people around her and tries to alienate the child and brings her up to hate her parents and grandparents. Basically, what she is doing is destroying the family lineage, causing irreversible damage for the father, and most importantly, destroys the child and her future completely. The child is not only deprived of one half of a healthy upbringing and the affection of her father, but also her grandparents, which, as you all know, plays a very important role in a child's well-being. She also imbibes absolutely negative psychological traits, which eventually makes her a half-brewed, emotionally vulnerable person. Her academic and professional life is also severely compromised, and she gets nothing compared to what she could have got, but for the selfish and narcissistic complex of the mother in this case. The mother does no good for herself either. As has been seen in many such cases, this kind of child, as she grows up, starts hating her mother as well. This, my friend, is just one of the examples of parental alienation. It refers to the manipulation of a child by one parent to disparage the other parent in an effort to undermine or interfere with the child's relationship with the targeted parent. This is most common in divorce and child custody cases. And in a majority of cases in India, the father is the targeted victim parent, and the mother manipulates the child's mind, endangering his or her psychological development altogether. In addition to causing emotional distress for the targeted parent, this pervasive problem has a real potential to harm the child. He or she loses a perfectly capable and caring, loving parent. This damages the child's psyche and emotional well-being for the present as well as for the future. This problem has been predominant in developed nations and has now invaded badly our beloved Indian subcontinent. Parental alienation takes many forms, and one of several may be present in any given case. So we need to be vigilant. According to psychology today, parental alienation is an often overlooked form of abuse, as tactics offending parents use are equivalent to extreme psychological maltreatment. Some common forms can be like limiting contact with the targeted parent, bad mouthing the targeted parent in front of the child or even directly to the child. There has been evidence of coercing the child to reject the other parent's affection, or creating the impression that the other parent is dangerous. In fact, some people have even tried to erase the other parent from the child's life altogether. Sometimes the child is forced to choose sides with threats like withdrawal of affection, forces, whatever is available to the targeting parent. Belittling the child's parents' extended family is also noticed, which mainly includes grandparents of the child. Research strongly supports the theory that these tactics are actually tantamount to spurning, isolating, terrorizing, exploiting, or even corrupting. So you can understand how dangerous this thing is for the child. The researchers have also found many disturbing patterns in the afflicted children. For one, parental alienation is a serious mental condition, which is founded on the belief that the targeted parent is dangerous and undeserving. Now, this condition, if allowed to continue, will result in self-hatred, low self-esteem, even depression, lack of trust, and in certain cases, substance abuse, like drugs and all, for the child, I mean. And this self-hatred is particularly prevalent in children who are the victims of parental alienation. As you can understand, they are forced to grow up thinking that the targeted parent did not love or want them. This belief is strongly built inside them. So this often leads to depression, as the victimized child never have the opportunity to mourn the loss of the parent or even talk about them with other parents or family members. Studies have also shown that alienated parents go on to have conflicted relationships throughout their lives. They are bad friends, bad partners, bad husbands or wives, and they often risk of becoming alienated from their own children as well. And many examples have been cited where they go on to reject the alienating parent as well. So their child also rejects them in most of the cases. They don't become good father or mothers either. So basically, in this case, all the parties lose. And the alienating parent is also a loser at their end. But the greatest loser in everything is our society at large. While the courts in many countries have long started considering this as a serious threat, India needs to modify its legal system a lot to stay in tandem with the changing scenario and get rid of stereotypes like nobody cares for a baby more than a mother. While in majority of cases, this is true, but every case is different and must be treated on its merit, not preconceived notions. Many countries like the US, UK, Mexico, Ireland, Canada, Brazil have their own legislations or some kind of mechanisms to consider parental alienation as an important factor in determining the future of child's custody or child support. And strict action is taken if something like this is proven. The question is, when the hell is India going to realize this? The Indian legislature and judiciary need to wake up and accept the real situation. The stereotypes that we have been living with have been broken decades ago. We need to modify our mind setup and laws accordingly. As a responsible and unbiased citizen of our beloved country, I would request all of you, men, women, third gender, every person out there, to please keep an eye around you, especially on the child where a single parent claims to be taking care of him or her. there is a big possibility of parental alienation if the other parent is alive and is fighting for the custody of the child. Do not be misled by face values, crocodile tears, and one-sided tarnished statements, and try and find the truth. You might save a family, a child, and the future of our society. If the alienation is unconsciously done, then you can talk to the alienating parent or inform the appropriate authorities or NGOs who can take up the topic with her or him, as the case may be. If the alienation is intentional, then you can contact the child welfare committee, help the alienated parent, or even inform a paralegal volunteer, a local NGO, or member of the district legal services authorities, who can then investigate and verify the case using appropriate help from relevant experts. You can also let me know about any such case, and I will take up the case with the appropriate authorities. Do not worry, your identity won't be disclosed unless you want to come in the front and take these parasitic people head on. You can also share your own problems on this platform and let the world know how people have been using the misplaced social sympathies for their own selfish means and are destroying lives and generations. Subscribe to this channel or get in touch through my Facebook and Instagram pages. I have provided the links in the description below. Remember, friends, by supporting such elements, you are cutting the very branch that you are setting up on. If somebody is burning someone's house, then by staying neutral, you are supporting the one who starts the fire. Days of neutrality are over. Do not support such cases. Let us vouch on this Parental Alienation Awareness Day to come together, all of us, and fight for the cause and not allow petty disputes and egoistic attitudes of a parent to destroy families, ruin culture, and cripple the nation and the future of our nation. That, I think, will be the best gift for the baby and our future generations. Take care and stay safe. Jai Hind.